Be very welcome to yet another special content here on our channel. Today we will explore in detail one of the most impactful trades at the start of this NBA season, Dennis Schröder heading to the Golden State Warriors. This deal not only shook up the trade landscape, but also sent a clear message about the intentions of each team involved. On one side, we have the Golden State Warriors, a franchise that continues to look for ways to maximize Stephen Curry's talent while he's still in his prime. On the other, the Brooklyn Nets, clearly in a rebuilding phase, are seeking long-term value rather than immediate results. We'll break down all aspects of this trade, including its impacts on both teams and why it was a true checkmate by Golden State. And I'll take this opportunity to ask, if you enjoy detailed and informative analyses about the NBA universe, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and leave a like. This greatly strengthens our work and motivates us to keep bringing content like this. Now, without further ado, let's get to the analysis. The Golden State Warriors started the season promisingly, leading the Western Conference in the first few weeks. However, as games progressed, the team faced consistency issues, both in the performance of certain players and in the rotation implemented by Steve Kerr. One of the team's challenges was finding a reliable second unit. Players like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody are still developing, and the absence of an efficient secondary point guard became evident. A smart move was needed to address these gaps without compromising the franchise's future. Enter Dennis Schröder, an experienced, versatile player who is having an exceptional season. To understand the value of this trade, let's first analyze what Golden State gave up in exchange. To acquire Schroder, the Golden State Warriors sent DeAnthony Melton and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets. Melton, while a useful player, was dealing with injury issues and had no timetable for return. Furthermore, he holds an expiring contract, meaning he could opt to leave in the next offseason. Melton came off the Warriors' second unit, but his scoring averages and efficiency didn't justify his continued presence, especially considering his lack of availability. With averages of 10.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game, he was a solid player but far from essential to the Warriors' immediate plans. As for the 3 second-round picks included in the trade, their value is limited in the current NBA landscape. While it's possible to find talent in the later rounds of the draft, these picks are not as impactful as first-rounders, especially for a team aiming to compete now. Now let's get to the real reason this trade was a brilliant move: Dennis Schröder. The German point guard is playing at one of the best levels of his career, with impressive averages of 18.4 points, 6.6 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. Schroeder is a player who can function both as a playmaker and a scorer, offering tactical flexibility for Steve Kerr. His ability to read the game, combined with above-average offensive efficiency, is exactly what the Warriors needed. Additionally, on defense, Schroeder is one of the most complete point guards in the NBA. He has lateral quickness, game awareness, and an impressive ability to pressure opponents. This makes him a reliable player both for leading the second unit and for sharing the court with Curry in decisive moments. On the other hand, the Brooklyn Nets are clearly in a rebuilding period. With Ben Simmons' contract nearing its end and the team prioritizing the development of young talent, Schroeder's departure makes sense. He was playing at a high level and could disrupt the team's tanking plans to secure better draft picks. However, the package received by Brooklyn doesn't seem very advantageous. DeAnthony Melton is a useful player but is injured and could opt to leave in the next offseason. As for the second-round picks, as mentioned earlier, their value is limited. This trade highlights that Brooklyn is more focused on the long term, even if that means sacrificing players who could deliver immediate results. Now that we understand the details of the trade and the context of each team involved, let's dive even deeper into the role Dennis Schröder will play within the Golden State Warriors system. The Warriors' main weakness this season has been the instability of their second unit. When Curry leaves the floor, the team struggles both in playmaking and scoring power. Young players like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody still lack the consistency to take on the responsibility of leading the second unit in important games. Additionally, players like Jonathan Kuminga and Gary Payton II are valuable but have different skill sets. Dennis Schröder comes in precisely to fill this gap. His ability to organize the offense and create opportunities for his teammates is a major asset for the Warriors. Unlike DeAnthony Melton, who has a more limited role as a shooting guard, Schroder is a complete point guard, capable of handling the ball, navigating screens, and creating plays for himself or others. Moreover, Schroder brings immediate scoring to the second unit. Averaging 18.4 points this season, he has a complete offensive arsenal. A solid three-point shot, 38.7%, efficiency from mid-range, and the ability to drive and finish against bigger defenders. In pick-and-roll situations, he also excels, finding opportunities to score or set up teammates in good positions. When Curry is on the floor, the Warriors' offense operates with great fluidity, capitalizing on the space he creates with his off-ball movement. However, when he goes to the bench, the drop-off in performance is evident. Schroder will be able to maintain the quality of the offense, ensuring that the team doesn't lose its rhythm even without its main star on the court. Additionally, Schroder's arrival will allow Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins to focus on their primary roles as scorers and defenders without having to take on extra responsibilities in playmaking. This will make the team more balanced and enable Steve Kerr to use more efficient rotations. An interesting point to consider is the possibility of Dennis Schröder playing alongside Stephen Curry in certain situations. Although he is a traditional point guard, Schroder can play off the ball when needed, thanks to his solid long-range shooting. Steve Kerr might opt for a lineup featuring Schroder and Curry together to increase offensive pressure, especially against teams that struggle to defend agile and skilled guards. This combination also gives the Warriors defensive flexibility, as Schroder can take on the assignment of guarding the opposing point guard, allowing Curry to get a defensive breather. Another advantage of having Schroder alongside Curry is the ability to alternate playmaking duties. In tight game situations, the Warriors will have another reliable option to lead the offense, reducing their dependence on Curry in crucial moments. In addition to his offensive skills, it's important to highlight Dennis Schröder's contribution on defense. He is an efficient on-ball defender, capable of pressuring opposing guards and forcing mistakes. His lateral quickness and defensive intensity will be key for the Warriors, who need to improve their perimeter defense. This season, Schroder is averaging 1.1 steals per game, but his impact goes beyond the numbers. He is a player who disrupts passing lanes, constantly pressures opponents, and brings a competitive mentality to the defense. This trait will be especially valuable in a Western Conference full of elite guards, such as Luka Doncic, Ja Morant, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Schroder will be another tool at Steve Kerr's disposal to contain these players and make the Warriors a more balanced team on both ends of the court. For this trade to happen, the Warriors had to give up 3 second-round picks and DeAnthony Melton. As previously mentioned, Melton is a solid player, but his contract situation and injury issues made his continued presence unsustainable for the Warriors. The second-round picks, while important, don't carry the same immediate impact as a player of Dennis Schröder's caliber. For a franchise like Golden State, which is focused on competing for a title now, this was a low-risk, high-reward trade. The Warriors' primary focus is maximizing Stephen Curry's prime. The championship window for any team is short, and the franchise's front office has shown it is willing to sacrifice future assets to give the team the best chance of success this season. On the other hand, the Brooklyn Nets' decision to move on from Dennis Schröder highlights the team's commitment to its rebuilding process. With a young roster and the need to accumulate future assets, the Nets are in a transitional phase. Schroeder's departure, while weakening the team in the short term, creates more space for the development of young players and improves their chances of securing better draft positions. DeAnthony Melton's expiring contract also provides the Nets with flexibility for the next offseason. However, the trade leaves the impression that the Nets could have secured more value for a player performing at such a high level. Schroder was one of the team's standout performers, and the return package seems modest compared to his contributions this season. With Dennis Schröder on the roster, the Golden State Warriors become an even more dangerous team in the race for the Western Conference title. The addition of an experienced and versatile point guard resolves a problem that has plagued the team since the start of the season: the lack of depth in the second unit. Furthermore, Schroder arrives at a crucial moment, as the Warriors' front office needs to prove it can still build a competitive team around Stephen Curry. Now, we must wait to see how Schroder fits into Steve Kerr's system and what impact this trade will have in the coming months. With the trade deadline still far off, the Warriors may remain active in the market, seeking more pieces to bolster the team. In summary, this trade was a brilliant move for the Golden State Warriors. By acquiring Dennis Schröder, the team addressed key issues such as the lack of a reliable playmaker in the second unit and the need for more scoring off the bench. Schroder fits perfectly into the Warriors' system and has the competitive profile that the franchise values. For the Brooklyn Nets, the trade is part of a larger rebuilding plan, though the return appears modest compared to Schroder's value. And you, what do you think of this trade? Did the Warriors take a step forward in the title race? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next analyses. See you in the next video.